I am the worst case scenario. I am the unimaginable. I am standing here by myself. I don't have a little cancer survivor standing with me for you to cheer for. But I am reality of childhood cancer. I am not rare because it is not rare. I am the mom who had to hear the dreaded words, "Your child has 1 to 3 weeks to live." I am the mom who held her dying child as she took her last breath. I am the mom who had to plan her 4-year-old's funeral. I am the mom who had to call the school to let them know that her daughter wouldn't be joining her kindergarten class because she would be dead. I am the mom whose heart is forever shattered. I am the mom who's lost friends because no one wants to be friends with a bereaved mom. I am the mom whose family is altered because the death of a child is too stressful for your family to remain the same. I am the mom who wishes that this had never happened and who wishes that this would never happen to anyone else. I am Ava's mom, and that alone is the greatest gift I've ever known. Ava Hope, my firstborn daughter, sweet and loving right from the start, diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of acute myeloid leukemia at age 23 months. Ava was a dream patient, so cooperative and so accepting of the hospital life. She greeted each day with an eagerness. She had no idea that every other 2-year-old wasn't in the hospital just like her. Since her chemo was so aggressive, we lived in the hospital for the better part of 6 months. Playing dolls, potato heads, painting, beading, singing, dancing, pretty much anything that would keep her entertained in the confined 4 walls of a hospital room. It was hard. We also had a 2-month-old baby, Olivia, at the time. My husband couldn't work. The stress and the strain of that life was almost unbearable at times. The load was heavy. There were scary life and death times in the ICU because the chemo was so very intense and the side effects horrific. But Ava was a trooper and went into remission after the first round of chemo. After 5 rounds of chemo, we went home to resume a normal life with a 2.5-year-old and an 8-month-old baby. And just a few days after Ava turned 3, we were devastated to discover she had relapsed. This time we went through 4 rounds of chemo and then a stem cell transplant in Calgary, where we lived for 5 months. My husband again had to stop working, and we had to hire a caregiver for our 18-month-older daughter, Olivia, so we could go through the to hell and back process of a stem cell transplant. Some of the scariest times of my life were in Calgary. You have no idea what Ava went through in the stem cell transplant that was supposed to save her life. More side effects, more ICU stays, more surgeries, but it all would be worth it, right? It would save her life. Again, Ava beat the odds and the transplant was deemed a success. And I tell you, those 18 months post-transplant were glorious. Preschool, swimming lessons, dancing, play dates, park time, shopping, and simply being at home. Normal kid thing, normal life. All that cancer, all those horrible memories were a thing of the past. Or so we thought. In June 2011, at a routine checkup, we discovered the cancer was back and it wasn't good. It came back with a vengeance. It was more aggressive than ever before. Our precious little girl, who had just barely begun her childhood, would not see her 4th birthday. She would not see her 5th birthday. She would not go to kindergarten. She would never grow up, never graduate, never get married, never have kids. Rather, she would die in my arms just after 1 a.m. on July 6, 2011, with me, her dad, her auntie, her favorite nurse, and her puppies by her side. She was only 4 years and 10 months old. But when Ava was diagnosed, I knew it was going to be a rough road, and I knew we had a huge battle ahead, but I never thought that she would die. That's the myth of childhood cancer. I didn't know the facts. Once your child dies in your arms of childhood cancer, you never look at cancer awareness the same way again. I ached constantly for the diagnosis to be me instead of Ava. Although I realize that cancer is a horrible disease for anyone to get, It is evident that when money goes into research, they actually make progress and cures. I believe it's time for childhood cancer to get its fair share of the money and the research. I do realize that if you haven't experienced the stress and brutality of the cancer journey with your child, or the profound, unimaginable horror of your child taking her last breath in your arms as they succumb to the disease, you will never understand why parents like me no longer want children to die of this. But here we are, kids getting diagnosed daily and dying daily, and I believe the public is not aware. Spreading awareness is essential. No one wants to imagine how horrible it must be to hold your dying child, but I believe things will not change until others do imagine it and want to do everything they can to make sure it doesn't happen to their own child or anyone else's. And so now, I am the mom who continues to advocate. There is strength in my healing, and there is hope for better when I share Ava's story. I am the mom who continues to live for Ava and for my other two children, Olivia and Anea. I am a bereaved mom, and my child deserved to live. Ava didn't deserve to die. Too many children die at the hands of childhood cancer. Thank you for being a part of this event today. I'm grateful to Jen Lister and the other parents in the Saskatoon community who have rallied together to create the Small But Mighty event. Thank you for helping others become more aware and contributing to a worthwhile cause. And thank you for sharing in Ava's journey today.